All right, y'all. I'm doing a collective reading for October 8th through the 14th. And, yeah, that's what we're going to do. I'm going to do a Trinity reading. So the first card is for the physical world. The second card is for the mental realm. And then the last card is for the spiritual. All right, like I said, I'm doing a Trinity reading. So what we have is for the physical world, we have power, vanadinite. We have for the mental world, messages and celestite. And for the spiritual world is inner child and rhodochrosite. Power is a fire card. The elemental is fire. And it deals with a lot of purifying, transformation from one form to another, releasing energy back into the collective. A lot of power. So the message of vanadinite is just remembering that your power cannot be given away or taken from you. You're the one that is creating your life. And like I said, this is about the physical world. So you have to remember that you're the one creating your life. It all begins with your energy. Everything that you see, everything that you feel, everything that you experience is coming from within you. And you can change it. You can change it. Whatever thing that you are going through. Look at her. She's basically saying, like, I can do whatever I want. She's a warrior. This has, the card is red too, so it has a lot to do with your heart. Remembering who you are, power. Yeah, and a lot of that power lays, dormant within your lower chakras. So there's a lot of pulling up that kundalini energy and get it into that sacral and solar plexus to move up towards your heart. The affirmation for this is, I own my own power as an expression of the divine within me. So now is the time is to focus deeply on your lower Dantian energy. Basically, like I said, those lower chakras, to calm and center your thoughts and emotions, to connect with your chi, your life force, your energy, your source within yourself, and to stop looking outside of yourself at a large, at the collective, and more about within yourself. Like when you do that, you are directing your own life force, and you are seeking guidance within yourself, in order for you to make clear choices and decisions, and take action to necessarily to take the actions necessary to create in the direction you choose. Paying attention to yourself, figuring out what makes you tick, figuring out how are you going to create your life. Your own universe. You have to tap into your own power. You have to stop being the victim. You have to claim responsibility for your life. Stop manipulating situations and people, and blaming people, and take control of your life. Using your power to shift and change old definitions of yourself into finding out who you are, what you are, how you're moving into this new space of you. The new you is always there. There's always potential for that. You just have to tap into it. You just have to remember who you are. You must take responsibility. Responsibility is the ability to respond for your current situation. And then you find your energy and connect with the spirit and commit to action that will change your circumstances. Commit to your transformation. Commit to your growth. Commit to your power. Just commit. Commit to yourself. You know, a lot of times we out here trying to commit to other people and commit to jobs and commit to careers and success and things like that. We don't even know ourselves. We need to commit to learning ourselves. We need to commit to researching ourselves. Commit to our own energies. Stop gasping and dragging and asking for assistance in places that do not depend upon yourself. Tap in to your own energy. Look at those. The energy in your hand, the energy in your body, the center of you, your own energy. Okay? Get into it. Get. All right, that was your message for the physical world, the physical realm, your physical body. Let's get into this mental body. Let's get into what messages are coming into you. What are you seeing? What are you hearing? What are you feeling? What is that gut? That gut. What is that gut saying? This is a wind element card, aka air. But do understand that energy moves through air. The spirit within. It's interesting that your mental faculties are governed by the air element. It's about inspiration, about taking breath. Okay, what is Celestite trying to tell the people? What is Celestite telling the people on a mental level? I'm hearing knock, knock, knock. Celestite is here to notify you that you have messages from your spirit waiting, but your overly busy mental energy is keeping it from being received. I guess they call it monkey brain. Just way too many things. You have mental fog. There is a foggy. I'm seeing fog. There's there needs to be a clear current in order to hear the messages. You may have been getting them faint, but they're definitely there. Are you listening to them though? Are you listening to them though? You may be so busy asking for signs and messages and things like that, and you don't even see them. You've actually stopped. You haven't stopped to actually receive it. Your monkey mind has been so busy with daily demands that you have neglected to shut it off so that you can receive important updates and directions from your higher self and your soul and your creator and your source and all of those types of things like that. A lot of the times our minds are so bogged down with mundane, earthly life things, some things that don't really seem that important, stress, overwhelm, anxiety, and all of those types of things are things that plague us in this physical world. Once again, back to the physical world, about remembering your power and taking time to be aware. And that's the same thing that these messages are saying. This card, Celestite, is saying. Look at that pretty egg. But yeah, Celestite is telling you that you need to stop. You need to stop and pay attention. Now is the time for you to sit and be still. Enter the doorway to your spirit. You know what I'm saying? Allow messages, inspiration, and revelations to be downloaded. Remember, these are download. Remember, messages, spiritual messages, downloads, channeling, and things like that. These type of higher frequencies, higher vibration, higher vibrational energy, higher thought forms, and all of those things have to come down to us, have to, make themselves heavy to even come to into our space. They're very light, they're very airy, you know what I mean? So in this dense space that we live in, and the density of your mental fog, it's very hard to see them sometimes. So that's why you have to get still. You have to meditate. You have to take time to woosah, breathe, sitting in quiet meditation, and clearing your mind is the best way to listen for these subtle directives. You understand what I'm saying? These subtle energies that are coming into your field to guide you, but you may be too bogged down by, work, money problems, what the government is doing, war, children, like all of those things. But on an individual basis, none of those things are more important than still time and moments alone with yourself for meditation, to figure out your next moves, to listen to what your directives are. So, yeah. Questions. Ask yourself questions. And you have to wait to listen. Listen, listen, listen. I'm hearing listen, listen. Listen, 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 listen. I know I'm saying that a lot, but listen. It's almost like you're listening for the dog whistle. You know what I mean? When you were growing up, you would hear people talking about, oh yeah, they whistle for the dog, but the dog whistle can only be heard from the dogs because it's on a different frequency. So this is the same situation. The messages are on a different frequency. So you have to slow your mind down. You have to slow your body down. You have to slow everything down in order to catch these messages. Yeah, they're moving very fast. They're moving very fast, and they may sound weird, and they may sound what some may call crazy, but these are your specific messages for yourself. So take time to meditate and get into that. The affirmation for this card is, I open to higher guidance from the impeccable spiritual source. Get into that. Messages, get into that. Listen, meditate. And that's that for mental. Inner child. Rhodochrosite. Rhodochrosite is a fire element as well, which once again is speaking about transformation, destruction of the old, and creating a new, cleansing, active, transmitted from one form to another. And that's exactly what you are. You transformed from, a child to an adult. But now it's time to get back into your inner child. Rhodochrosite has come to you today to aid you in connecting with the child within. The child within still needs to play. The child within still needs to heal. The child within still needs to be a part of your adult life. Just because you are now an adult and you're bigger and you have adult things to do does not mean that you still can't embrace, heal, and recover from a lot of the things that happen within yourself. A lot of the experiences and situations that you went through, and some of the things that a lot of the things that you are going through now are specifically wounds that have been perpetuating wounds that have been since you were a child. You received them many years ago. This is now the opportunity to cleanse those, cleanse and heal old wounds, emotional patterns, what you need to come to terms with, things that you need to come to terms with. A lot of the times we think that our adult lives only have a separate situation, and that's not true. A lot of the ways that we act, we think, and we respond comes from our foundation, and our foundation is from when we were children. We watched how the people in our household moved. We watched how people reacted to certain things. I mean, a lot of times you see how people react to truth, and then you start lying. You know what I mean? But yeah, like a lot of the childhood traumas and things like that, the way we navigate adult life is totally based on what we dealt with as children. And whether that been something that was actually taught to us, but mostly it was absorbed from our environment. We, like they always say, children are like sponges. We're taking in everything in our environment, and those tools will be how we show up as adults. So you need to open yourself to this space. Get into that. Dig deep. Ask yourself questions. I mean, listen, this is what this whole reading is about, is getting back into yourself, getting back into who you are, getting back into what things that are plaguing your adult life that can be healed. And you think that they may not be able to be healed because you haven't addressed them. You haven't become aware of a certain situation that you're dealing with in your 20s or your 30s or your 40s or your 50s, shoot, even your 60s, that came about when you were a child. You may have lost touch with the joys of childhood, especially if you went through many of things that were not a what people would call a great childhood. Things that bring you joy. You know how many adults don't have a hobby, don't know what makes them happy, don't do things alone, don't read, don't color, don't do jump rope, do something useful. Those things that fulfilled your life as a kid. um these aspects of self can teach you great spiritual lessons as you reconnect with your innate curiosity, creativity, and wonder. Honey, remember that you are an explorer. I know the world likes to make us, hit us with the walls, hit us with the maze, hit us with the labyrinth, as if, this is as far as you can go, or whatnot. But you are an explorer. You are to look and tap into what makes you happy. What things make you smile, what makes you feel nurtured, what makes you feel happy, what gives you joy. You know what I mean? And I know we grow up and we get all of these adulting, like things and stuff like that. But what about you? What about that baby inside? You know what I'm saying? Reclaim your childlike faith that source will provide for you. Just like you knew your mother was going to feed you. Just like you knew if you dropped something on the floor, your mama was going to come. Just like you knew that if you started crying, someone was going to run. You didn't have a shadow of a doubt. You know what I'm saying? Go within. Heal any old traumas and wounds that no longer serve you. That is the key. That is the key. That is the key. Like, we walk around and we don't know how to let things go. We don't know how to release. That's not what the world tells us to do. We live in a capitalistic society which tells us to consume, 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 but it doesn't tell us to release and let go. And it doesn't give you the tools to do so. You know what I mean? Because when you think that you're about to do those things, you think you need to purchase something to even do it. So, remember, let go. There are so many things that we're carrying around. Bag lady, you gonna hurt your back. Dragging all that stuff like that. We gotta let it go. You gotta let it go. So for this week, get into that. Pick 1 to 2 things that are no longer serving you, whether that be an item, a piece of clothing that you don't need no more, furniture, papers. It can be a thought that you realize that you've been thinking for the last like 3 months, or a loop of thoughts. It can be a food that daggone well is not working for your health. It can be anything. It can be anything. Get rid of something. Get rid of something. And begin with the innocence and purity of a child. Allow the energy of your inner child to soothe and comfort and aid you in your healing journey. Get into that. Get into that. The affirmation for this card is, I resonate with love and release all else to the universe. I resonate with love and release all else to source, to mother, to release. All right, y'all. So that's your weekly reading for and maybe I should have turned these this way for the week of October 8th through the 14th. And whoever this resonates with, get on it. All right, y'all. Bye.